should be.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Opening up my stream manager so I can check on shit. How's the audio sound?
Pretty good.
Alright, so this is technically the first episode of an Untitled Star Wars podcast. And there's a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah. There's a lot of new shows, a lot of new stuff happening.
Yeah, one of the things is the Obi-Wan Kenobi cast was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that yet?
I didn't want to look at the cast, but I had heard that it was announced.
Okay, so do you want to know who's in it?
Yeah.
Alright, well, Ewan McGregor,
Of
obviously. Hayden Christensen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because supposedly we're going to see live-action flashbacks of the Clone Wars.
Yep. At least an episode or two.
Moses Ingram. Joel Edgerton.
Okay.
Bonnie... I don't even know if I want to pronounce that last name. Piesse. Yeah.
Is she the one from oh jeez, Stranger Things?
Hang on, I'm looking it up. She's an Australian actress.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the one from Stranger Things.
Apparently she was in Star Wars Episode 2 and Episode 3.
Really?
Apparently.
Maybe it's not the person I'm thinking of then.
Oh, okay. She played the young Brew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, the one that we saw for, I don't know, a total of 2 minutes. Oh, wow, she's gonna be... in a few things, it looks like. Anyway, moving on from that, Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay.
He looks familiar. Indira Varma. Rupert Friend. O'Shea Jackson Jr. He's a black guy, by the way. O'Shea kind of disguises that. Sung Kang. Do you know who that is? Did you watch Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
He was the mentor to the white guy.
Oh, the one that was always eating that snack.
Yeah,
stuff?
that's him.
Okay. I know who he is.
Simone Kessel.
Okay.
In Benny Safdie. I gotta tell you, I only know like 3 or 4 of these guys. Yeah.
I'm seeing if I can see their faces. Yeah.
Hang on, I can. I put it up on screen right now. Don't ruin it with PC politics, someone said.
That's the same picture that I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's the same picture that everyone's looking at.
Interesting.
Do you think we're gonna see Grogu?
When does this take place? Directly after, 10 years after. So I don't.
No, there's flashbacks as well. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a flashback, but I don't think he'll be in it otherwise.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is in Grogu's bio, it said there was a man with a blue lightsaber protecting younglings.
Mm-hmm.
And the only male Jedi that I know still alive during that time was Obi-Wan that had a blue
Mhm.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
I don't know other than that though.
I don't think there were any other, at least no other prominent ones that had a blue lightsaber.
Yeah, and like, why would they be keeping the name hidden if it's not someone we know?
Yeah.
So I'm having a feeling we're gonna see Grogu in a flashback.
Hmm.
Hell, maybe we'll see Rex as well.
I'm kind of excited with this cast. It's a pretty diverse cast.
Uh,
And I'm more so excited that, that we're actually going to get the characters portrayed by the original actors.
well, technically not original actors, because the prequels came out after the original three movies.
The original actors for the prequels,
There
though,
you go.
um, which would be the original actors. That's kind of interesting. I didn't expect Hayden Christensen to be willing to come back to
Oh
Star
no,
Wars,
everyone knew he was coming back. Like, he
but
was very excited about it.
it's awesome.
We we're probably gonna see Anakin, a live action Anakin with the Clone Wars armor.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be pretty
That'll be
cool.
interesting.
I thought he portrayed the character pretty well. Um, McGregor, that's who I think of when Obi-Wan comes to mind.
I do too. To be honest, I think of him as the younger Obi-Wan who eventually turns into Alec Guinness.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
he he even he does that very well.
Um, I I'm interested to see if Hayden Christensen is only going to be in flashbacks or if he's actually going to be a young Darth Vader as well. Because that would be interesting to see. Because a lot of people haven't seen that, at
I
least cinematically or in live action.
well, we have actually because that was Hayden in the Darth Vader suit at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, that was the only time though.
Well, I imagine if he is if they do put Darth Vader in this series,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to get it's going to end with the fight on the Death Star.
You think this show is going to go all the way to that?
No, no, no. I think that's going to be the final scene. They're going to flash forward in the last episode with
Oh,
Ewan
okay.
McGregor with makeup and latex on to look like Alec Guinness, and we're gonna see the final showdown a bit.
Interesting.
That's how I think the show's gonna end, and it
I'm very
should.
There were things that Kenobi had to do before he went into hiding,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'd be interested in seeing how that is because all that happened immediately after the events, right? And the last time we really see him before we see him fight Darth Vader, before we see him come back with Luke, um, he's just on Tatooine. So I think that's where this is going to take place.
Do you think we'll see a live action version of him versus Darth Maul, the final showdown?
I really hope so.
I think that would be awesome. I'd love for them
I
to
don't
bring Ray Park in.
I don't know when chronologically that happened though.
Luke is a young kid, so I believe he's between the ages of 5 and 10
Okay.
during the
Then
events of
that
Rebels.
then they totally could. A
Hang on.
young but old Obi.
Hang on. I'm looking up how old Luke would have been.
I don't know if they'll do that because it's something that's already been done.
Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Luke is actually about 17 years old during the
Yeah,
duel.
I was gonna say he had to have been older because Obi was portrayed as Ben in the Rebels.
Rebels is such a confusing timeline.
Yeah,
It
yeah, it's
takes
a little hard to
place,
grasp.
yeah, it takes place before and during and after the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Somehow.
Yeah, and Leia was in it, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I'm currently rewatching Rebels at the moment,
Okay.
and I'm on season 2.
Um, I'm watching the 2005 Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's a good one. How far into
It's
it are
pretty
you?
good. I'm about halfway through the first episode that you sent me. Episodes, I should say.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sure
the
they're
first volume.
yeah. Um,
So
Interesting art style for sure.
that would be
I
the
don't.
Samurai Jack art style.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I don't care. We got a lot of cool shit from that series.
Hmm.
We got what may have caused Grievous's coughing fit and his wheezing.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's been shown off yet. I don't think that's till volume 2.
That's another character that I think they'll probably bring into the Obi-Wan series because when we see them, well, no, they won't. They won't be able to. He would be long dead. But
Yeah,
we might see some flashbacks of it, which I would like.
if they do they are doing flashbacks. But what do you think they're gonna do for flashbacks?
Um, I think as far as flashbacks go, I think they're really going to focus on Hayden and Ewan, their relationship, how they grown, that kind of thing.
How weird would it
Um,
be if we got a flashback to the Battle of Christophus
be interesting.
when Ahsoka was first introduced?
Yeah, that's another character that they could potentially bring into this is Ahsoka, right?
Yeah,
Because 10 years after, um, after the events of Revenge of the Sith.
Ahsoka did not know that Obi-Wan was alive.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting. And in Mando, I don't believe. Well, in Mando, Obi's character is dead by
Yeah,
that point.
Mando is 5 years after the events of Jedi.
Yeah. So I don't know how that would work. I don't know if they'll ever touch on that or if they'll ever play with the idea that Ahsoka knew Obi was around.
As far as I know, and it's still like set as Ahsoka had no idea that Obi-Wan was alive
Mm-hmm.
or that he was even on Tatooine. Tatooine's very weird. First off, they describe it as a place where things and people go that don't want to be found.
Right.
And that implies that even the Force hides the presence of others in there.
I
But
don't
we've
know if that
seen.
necessarily implies that.
Well, it does. Why would Darth Vader, who absolutely hated Obi-Wan, not even think of searching through the Force?
Obi did not like Tatooine at all. Or excuse me, Anakin didn't like Tatooine at all.
That would be
But
the first place I would check.
the Jedi are kind of forgotten by that point culturally. Every species, they're unless they're an older species, they don't really talk about the Jedi or bring them up.
The comics show that Vader was actively hunting down Jedi. Like during after he became Vader, he was immediately hunting down Jedi and others.
Right. 10 years after, though, he
But in
was pretty much
in,
done
in
killing
that 10
Jedi.
years though, he knew Obi-Wan was alive. He
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
and they still had a connection. So why couldn't he, search through the force to try to find him?
I don't know, man.
And hang on,
Maybe he never wanted to. I think that was one of the few things that Anakin needed to do in order to fully divulge himself to the dark side of the Force, was to kill his master. And I don't think personally he ever wanted to go that far.
no, it says here that in canon, Darth Vader returned to Tatooine.
Mm.
And he's also been very near Tatooine as well, several times.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know how to feel about that one, about him not wanting to kill Obi-Wan.
There's also the whole thing that these Jedi have been able to just cut themselves off from the Force, which sounds like something McGregor was kind of doing.
No, I don't think so.
Because if you look at Luke in the future, he's cut himself off from the Force entirely to the point where like nobody could find him. And that is going with the new movies, which I don't particularly
No,
like.
but Obi-Wan was very busy during this time.
At the 10-year mark, I don't think he would have been.
No, throughout all that time, he was very busy. So I imagine he was using the Force, considering right before he left with Luke, he killed Darth Maul. Like you really think he wouldn't fight Darth Maul with the Force?
I don't think so. I think he's skilled enough. He doesn't need the Force.
I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah, I think he's skilled enough that it wouldn't really be that way.
Then there was where he sensed the planet Alderaan blow up.
Yeah, he did sense that.
Then he immediately knows Darth Vader's also on the Death Star.
Yep, he could feel it. But at those times, he was starting to become more in tune with the Force, starting to open up more and seeing that Luke was going to be the one to solve most of the issues that the galaxy was going through at the time. And that's 30 years.
That's putting a lot of faith into Luke.
He did. He put all of his faith into Luke. So did Yoda.
Yoda didn't. Remember when he went to go confront Vader in Empire, and Yoda says, "No, there is another." Yoda was like, "I'm ready to contact Leia if shit goes down."
Yeah.
So there is all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's no telling. And then, of course, the Bad Batch. We finally got a new trailer for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to put it on screen here so everyone can see it. Actually, hang on. There it is. Do you see that?
Yes.
Alright. And...
A test is in order. 5 enhanced clones? More capable than an army. Yet they exhibit a concerning level of disobedience and disregard for orders.
What else you got? Give me more!
Our squad's nothing but trouble. But we get the job done.
You're Clone Force 99.
You know who
Hunter,
Let's go.
Echo,
Hyperdrive's online.
Tick,
Prepping to jump.
Reckon,
Let's blow something up. Yeah!
and Crosshair.
Your move. Ha! We're all you need.
I want Clone Force 99 found and wiped out.
The galaxy's a dangerous place to be.
We need to get out of here. What do you say, kid? You want to come with us?
How can I help?
The Clone Wars have ended. You can either adapt and survive, or die with the past. The decision is yours.
We do what we do. Strap in, kid.
Pretty apt that it's coming out May 4th.
Well, yeah, May the 4th.
Yeah.
So that is the Bad Batch trailer, and there's a lot of shit to go through on there.
Yep.
First off, one of the things that I want to know is, did the Bad Batch, did Clone Force 99 have the inhibitor chips?
Probably not. And I think that was already... No, that wasn't... That couldn't have been answered. But probably not, considering the fact that they're being hunted down by the Empire.
Yeah, like, are they, like, so badass that when Order 66 was announced, they're like, yeah, no, fuck that.
They were kind of a failed batch of clones, so I don't think they
They weren't failed. They named themselves after Clone 99. But
Right.
they were enhanced clones.
They were an experimental batch,
Yeah, essentially.
for sure. And I don't think that the Kaminoans would have had the foresight to put the chips in them. I don't know. They're kind of weird to add to the storyline in general.
I don't think
They
so.
kind of
I think it was actually a good move.
They don't really fit well.
Exactly. They were the Black Ops team, you know.
It's
Delta
not a
Force was the
seamless-
one that everyone knew.
Yeah, it's not a seamless transition, for sure.
I would have.
So it raises a lot of questions like that. Did they have chips? Were they just cool enough to not accept them?
I don't think they should have opened the Bad Batch with with Order 66 and what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
I think we should have gotten, like, I think the first season should be what the Bad Batch was doing since they were made up until that point. We're in season 7.
Well, it looked like they were training, and Tarkin was there
That
observing
was
their training.
No, that was after. That was after Order 66 was issued.
That training session was after.
Yeah. That's
You
confirmed.
don't think it was... That was confirmed after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was him trying to decide whether or not Clone Batch 99 was a threat. Because if you notice in the trailer, he says, a small team of clones more capable than an army.
Yeah.
He's trying to decide if it's worth it to keep them around, or if they're too unpredictable that we have to put them down.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they had inhibitor chips. They were still bred to follow the Order, per se. But the Order kind of changed into the Empire, right? Because Darth Vader still had the 501st under his control.
Or Vader's Fist, as I think it was called.
Yeah. So there were still clone troopers that were used in the Empire's army.
Yeah, but the thing with they stopped making them. That's all that happened.
After.
And then after a couple of years, when they stabilized a bit, they they pretty much decommissioned the clones altogether.
Yep. Stopped using them.
I think very few clones still served in the Empire as stormtroopers.
Very few, and they weren't given positions that were higher than just a basic stormtrooper.
I'm not sure about that. Because there's the story of the clone that tried to befriend Vader. And practically succeeded, really. I think he did consider himself Vader's friend.
Right.
Because Rex was gone at this point, and I think Vader was, missed that buddy feeling with a clone.
Probably. The camaraderie. It was also something that he was used to. Something that he did very well was lead those type of weapons, so to speak, into battle. So it would make sense for him to want a clone close to him, at least.
And the clone initiated it, too. That's what's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I don't believe that the Bad Batch had inhibitor chips. They didn't behave like any other clones, so they would have to create special mind controlling chips for each of them, which I think would be kind of difficult for them to do rather than the cookie cutter approach that they've been doing.
Yeah, and then
and even then that cookie cutter approach didn't work 100%.
Moving on from that, though, we have it shows that Tarkin indeed does consider them a threat, and it's like, die.
Yep. He eventually comes to the idea that these guys are kind of rogue and kind of follow their own rules, which is
not
true
worth it
for their characters.
Yeah.
They get the job done, but how they get it done is definitely more so up to them than it is to whoever gave the order.
Yeah, or if they decide, like, okay, the outcome of this, we don't like it, so we're just going to ignore the order completely.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as we saw, they run off and they take a kid with them.
Yeah, I don't know who that kid is.
Oh, you're going to love this. That is Omega. That is the final clone.
Oh.
That is the very last clone.
All right. Did they perfect it?
I don't know. This was completely different because this is a female clone.
Yeah, that had to have had a different person that the DNA came from.
Nope, it's Django.
Yeah, but it's blonde and female and white skinned.
Rex and several other.
You think it's an amalgamation of a couple of different?
No, what I think it is remember throughout at one point in the series they said that that Django's DNA was beginning to
deteriorate.
Yeah, essentially they were running out. They didn't have enough of a strong strong group of DNA from them to work with anymore.
Yeah.
This is that final clone, I imagine. This is what was used for the last of the DNA, and all that was left was the X chromosome was the only clone they could make from it, like a Wolverine and X-23.
Yeah. Be interesting to figure out. I'm interested to see how that kid even adds to the story, because if the Bad Batch is wanting to accept them as one of their own, that kid has to have some type of talents.
Well,
in order
it's
to
not
stick
only
around
that
with a
though,
group like that.
But the Bad Batch also has morals.
Yeah, they do.
They didn't like how the Empire was running. Do you really think they wanted to leave a kid, their sister, with the Empire?
Not necessarily.
Not only that, they were kind of surprised and impressed with the kid in the trailer when they're like, you know us, and she names them off one by one.
Mm-hmm. So there's some level of intelligence there.
Yeah, so I imagine, not only is this, the final clone a kid, our sister, our only one at that, but she's clearly intelligent, and we have no idea what her story is yet.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
What if she's like them?
She's got to add something to the group for them to want that.
I think she's enhanced.
Yeah.
Because later on in the trailer, we sees her using a Night Sister bow.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to see. I'd be interested in knowing if it is most of Django's DNA, and whether or not she's mixed. Some other things are mixed in there as well.
one theory that I saw people talking about was it was Tarkin.
Yeah,
I find that very weird.
it's no secret, especially now, that the Empire is doing things with cloning research. They're obviously wanting to do that, and I can imagine that clone, it's a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's following the original formula, so to speak, as regular clones, they age pretty progressively to get to their adulthood. But if that clone is kind of like Boba, for example, where it was allowed to just age naturally.
Yeah, that was Boba was a completely unaltered clone.
Mm-hmm. No enhancement, nothing like that. Just one for one DNA from Django. So I wonder if they took away the aging properties, because they kind of age within weeks to get to that adulthood level and then stay in that adulthood and age naturally from that point on.
No, they age faster as well.
They do age faster as well?
After a certain amount of time, they will begin to age rapidly.
Okay. Yeah,
Or
so I wonder if...
Because Rex... I'm not too sure if that's still canon, though.
What?
If they still age rapidly. I don't know if that was changed or not.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because the next time we see Rex, he's older for sure, but he's older in a sense that makes sense chronologically. From a 20-year-old man, you add 30 years to that. That's kind of what I would expect Rex to look like after that.
Yeah, it's hard to say though with Star Wars. They change it up like anytime they want.
Yeah, that's what would make sense to me though.
Mm-hmm.
Given what we've seen.
And then we saw Fennec Shan make a return.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, Fennec Shan is a bounty hunter who works for the Empire, I want to say.
Yes.
At least until The Mandalorian.
That's going to be kind of cool to see animated.
Yeah, Ming-Na Wen is also reprising the role as Fennec Shan. And she was the live-action actress.
Mm-hmm. So she's going to be voicing her.
Mm-hmm. She was also the voice of Mulan in the original movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this isn't her first time with voice acting. And then we also see Rex in the trailer.
Yes, I wonder if that's a flashback.
I don't think so.
It looks like it might not be a flashback, and you could be correct about that, because it looks to me like they're standing on the rebel of a crashed ship, and they're trying to get inside of it or to the top of it. He's kind of pointing at the top of it looked like an Imperial cruiser.
Yeah, here's why I don't think it's a flashback. In Star Wars Rebels,
Mm-hmm.
Rex is hanging out with Gregor and Wolf.
Right. That was the other two that were standing behind him, most likely.
In the trailer, that was Rex and the Bad Batch together.
Okay.
So that begs the question: when do they pop up? So I imagine this is them trying to find Rex. Rex and the Bad Batch are trying to find Gregor and Delta, or Wolf, and they're gonna take the inhibitor chips out of them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how those two come into play.
Do you think Ahsoka is going to make an appearance?
Ahsoka in Rebels knows that that Rex and Wolf are alive and Gregor.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it would make sense for her to make an appearance because she has to somehow know that they're still alive, and the general idea of where they're located at.
Well, if it indeed is not a flashback, then Ahsoka and Rex left that planet, that ice planet, together.
They did, yeah.
And I imagine he said he's going to try to go for some of his friends. And actually, this might answer the question on what the fuck happened to Cody.
To Cody, the clone? Yeah.
Oh, that would be so sad now that I'm thinking about it. What if Rex and Cody get in a showdown, like a duel to the death?
It'd be interesting.
I don't think I could handle that.
Without that inhibitor chip, they're free to kind of think how they were before it was activated, but with that chip in, they're kind of diehard loyal to whatever the Emperor wants. And at that particular time, the Emperor wants all of anyone associated with that time to die, so...
Technically, that's Tarkin. I honestly don't know why they, like, decommissioned the clones altogether. Stormtroopers suck.
They do. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that they did it because it was a lot cheaper and a lot easier to just steal young kids.
That didn't happen with the Empire.
Army.
The Empire did
Oh,
that.
that's right.
That was the First Order.
Yeah, that was the First Order that did that.
Yeah.
The Empire kind of just recruited people.
And even then, those stormtroopers sucked as well.
Yeah, and the training sucked. The training was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's...
The only good part of the Empire was their pilots, and even then, that was still pretty bad.
They had no good part.
Yeah.
I'm trying to... The Dark Troopers, maybe.
Yeah.
What's his name? He was in The Mandalorian. You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Who?
The main enemy.
Oh,
with the dark
Gideon?
side. Yeah, Moff Gideon. That's who I was thinking about.
Moff Gideon, yeah.
He's a good part of the Empire. He got shit done.
Yep. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Death Troopers as well.
I mean, he's a Moth, you know.
And not only that, though, he took down Mandalore.
Yeah, they don't give that title away, though.
Yeah, considering the only other Moth that we really know anything about is Tarkin.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Tarkin hunted down Darth Vader in like the most dangerous game style.
Pretty much. And almost won. He almost killed him.
Yeah.
He did a damn good job.
That comic was that was like one of the most badass comics I've ever read for Star Wars.
So, oh jeez, what's the blue guy's name with the red eyes?
Thrawn.
Grand
Thrawn, Admiral Thrawn.
I wonder, because at that time he's not Grand Admiral, right?
No, he starts off as a cadet. Like that whole story is the canon comic book is the Thrawn comics.
The Thrawn comics. Okay.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of interesting to see if he makes any type of appearance at all, because we have Tarkin, right? And Tarkin, I don't know when he dies.
He dies like on the Death Star.
Oh, okay. So he was part of he. Okay.
Yeah, 17 years after the events of the Clone Wars, he dies.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first battle on the
Where
Death
was
Star.
Thrawn then?
Thrawn was dealing with the rebels.
Dealing with the rebels, so he wasn't anywhere near the Death Star when that
happened.
happened.
He was actually no. I take that back. He wasn't dealing with the rebels yet. He was in the outer regions.
Yeah.
And then he deals with the rebels like somewhere in the middle of the 3 movies. So
Somehow.
and then he disappears from fuck off nowhere by the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, because they just got teleported to a super uncharted area, basically, and I guess had to map their way back because he's. I don't know where they're gonna go with.
I don't know. And then
That's breaking off of the Bad Batch by that point.
yeah, there's like supposedly
His
there is
return.
going to be a live action Rebels sequel.
Yeah, which I'm kind of excited for.
I don't know how to feel about that yet.
Neither do I, but I like Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's
I didn't.
he's crazy intelligent.
He was
he's
very
good.
dumbed down and like he was weakened. They nerfed him for Rebels
Yeah,
because
yeah.
in Legends he was the only non-force sensitive to conquer most of the galaxy. He realized he would have won. He would have killed Luke and them. He almost succeeded too, but they got his bodyguard to betray him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason they won.
This is the only thing that he wasn't really expecting, which is weird, given his character. The things he knows in Rebels and the things he plans for is just absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, and then like
It's like every victory that the Rebels have is actually just a loss on their part because they're just walking into whatever he had exactly planned for them.
it's more like they may have won, but what did it cost them?
Yeah, because he just has it all plotted out, and they're following the exact route that he had set for them. He's like, yeah, I knew they were gonna win here, but them winning here means that I'm gonna defeat them still at the end point over here. You know?
Don't get me wrong, he was a great character in Rebels, and I like that even in the end they couldn't truly defeat him.
Mm-hmm. They had to do some cheap move.
Yeah,
Basically.
and potentially lost Ezra.
Yeah.
Hello from the UK. May the force be with you both. I hope you're both safe and well. Yes, we are, DJ Yanix.
Yes, thank you.
Uh,
That pop up.
yeah. Whoops.
From the UK, that's really cool.
Yeah. That's a...
First, I think, for us. For
Should
our
be
channel.
nighttime there, shouldn't it?
Yes. I don't know what the difference is. Thank you for commenting on that, DJ. We really appreciate it. We like when the audience engages with us.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Thrawn. Did you see what
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch said?
I did not, no.
He
But
said
I'm
he
excited
has...
for what you're about to say.
You shouldn't be.
Oh.
He has no interest in playing Thrawn whatsoever.
What? He would make a good Thrawn.
He would. I was like the whole Star Wars community agreed with each other saying that he should play Thrawn.
He was the best freaking Sherlock, man. In my opinion.
Yeah,
That was in his younger days, for sure, as an actor, as far as an actor goes.
Doctor Strange was amazing. He is a very comic accurate Strange.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like cool. But I'm very sad that he doesn't want to play Strange or Thrawn. Yeah, you can ask us this question, man. I also just posted the link to our Discord.
Awesome sauce.
I'm very curious on what kind of question we're going to be asked.
9. Okay. Question for both of you for me. Yeah, sure thing. That's not a problem. We're always excited to have an engagement with our audience and something that we want more of, for sure.
Yeah, Saturday before we ended, we were talking about Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get back to that because I want to talk about the movies now.
Have you watched it yet?
Still haven't.
He's this guy.
I don't know if I wanna. Like, I'm being serious. Being British, there's nothing I love more than a cup of tea in the Commonwealth.
Uh-huh.
I'm hoping there's more to that because that isn't a question, sir. Up until I saw that dish hat.
Oh, jeez.
Surprised you
What's
aren't
wrong
wearing
with my...
Star Wars like I am, sir.
Oh, Halo. Come on. What's wrong with the dish hat?
Well, he said there's nothing he loves more so until he saw the dish hat.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, I haven't watched Rise of Skywalker yet, and I seriously don't know if I should. My question is, where can I get one?
Where can I get one?
I imagine they sell them on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could buy one on Amazon. I work for this company here in the U.S., so this is actually part of my work uniform. It's just a hat that I threw on. My hair is a little messy. But I'd imagine you could probably get one on Amazon.
I'm currently looking right now.
Yeah. We're gonna look this up now.
It's been brought to my attention, and now I have to look it up. Not heater hat. No, I'm not seeing one, sadly.
Try typing in Dish Network hat.
Yeah, I typed in satellite, so maybe network will have something. Oh, there's actually a couple of them. Yeah, there's a few here, but they're not exactly like yours.
No. Yeah, you could probably get them on Amazon. Also, sorry, I don't know your names, but the guy in the hoodie, I'm loving your mustache.
Thank you.
A serious question. Okay. Yeah, he has way better facial hair than I do. Unfortunately, I'm Mexican, so I can't grow a lot.
You have a serious question. Okay, very curious about that one.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch. I kind of want you to watch Rise of Skywalker just to hear what you get from it, what you think about it. Because I was looking at it from a super diehard Star Wars fan viewpoint, and I was also kind of trying my best to look at it as what they were going for, which was to show people who have never seen Star Wars and kind of introduce them to the concept and lore that is Star Wars. But they messed up a lot of things with that, so
we could do something. As you know, they have the group watch on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
What we could do is me and you and potentially someone else or others could watch it, but we only stream our cameras. So
I've seen people do that, do like reaction videos.
Yeah, like that's something we could do.
Because there's nothing wrong necessarily.
Well, we're not going to be showing the audio or
Yeah.
the movie itself, but it would just be our reactions. What are your thoughts on the recent findings on Hawking radiation, and how do you think it will affect Disney George Lucas's vision moving forward, having to take on said findings into their newer concepts while remaining true to their fans? First off, Hawking radiation. Let me see what that is exactly, because I don't know. Hawking radiation is black body radiation that is predicted to be released by black holes due to quantum effects near the black hole event horizon. I don't think that will affect Disney and George Lucas like at all.
I think they'll have some cheap caveat to it to say something like, "Oh, well, all of the ships have shielding against that type of radiation," or something ridiculous like that would be kind of easy to cover up.
I don't think we've ever seen a black hole. No, that wasn't too much, man. That was fine.
This is an interesting question. Definitely a curveball. Not something that we were expecting there.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a black hole in Star Wars.
I know that they travel through some type of system with highways and
Yeah,
such,
they
right?
have the hyperspeed highways or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
where they go to warp
Um,
speed.
Those are more similar to wormholes.
Yes.
If we were to draw an exact parallel to something that actually exists.
If you were to draw an exact parallel, it's slip space from Halo.
Yeah. So I don't think that will have an effect on anything to do with the story or anything like that.
We've had gravity wells.
Yeah. Star Wars has never really tried to be super scientific with their ideas, so to speak.
Or
Especially because
explanations.
especially because George Lucas said laser sword. I don't know how many times, and it's more plasma weapon if we were to actually create one.
You remember what Carrie Fisher wore in A New Hope?
Yeah,
She didn't wear
that's
a bra.
because they don't wear underwear in space.
Yeah, that was his reasoning. They don't wear it in space. I'm like, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know that that'll affect them, but that's definitely an interesting question. Gentlemen, I must take my leave, unfortunately.
That's fine, man. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for tuning in, as short as it was, and for the question. It was a really interesting one, and something that I wasn't quite expecting. So,
yeah, you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Yeah.
And tune in next time. Talk to us about your friends. Follow us on YouTube if you want to watch the rest of the show. We actually do post.
Yeah, actually, let me
these on YouTube.
Open up my YouTube channel real quick, and I'll post the link.
Mm-hmm. I wish there wasn't so much of a delay between our conversations, but unfortunately, that's how the internet is.
Here's the YouTube.
Yeah, he has a button right here that goes straight to YouTube or our YouTube page on Twitch there.
Yeah.
But that way you don't have to miss the rest of the show.
All right, and then the movies. That's why we were talking about the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very skeptical of watching. Right, Scott. From what I've seen, it. All right, cool, man. Thank you, Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
From what I've seen, it's only going to anger me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to gauge your response to a lot of the concepts they introduced, which is not something you ever want to hear from a sequel of any kind. You don't want to hear about new concepts that were released, but
first off, Death Star remains.
Yeah.
Didn't we blow? Wasn't that thing blow to fucking Kingdom Come? There was nothing left.
It should have been.
Then there was the dagger.
Yeah.
And I don't like that she grabs it and is like, this dagger has done unspeakable evil. Like, you're holding the Youngling Slayer 9000.
The episode also starts with just a weird idea that Kylo Ren has this special cube.
The Wayfinder.
Yeah, and it's like a special compass that leads him to.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to bring up. Was I don't know how I feel about this. The idea of this Wayfinder.
It's just weird. I like how they were able to find Luke in a way that made sense. They actually were just missing a piece of the map, and the map was, X marks the spot. The X was missing, so they just needed that final piece. I like that. That made sense. But what didn't make sense is that Kylo Ren magically found this pyramid thing.
Yeah. Like, are you telling me that there is not... obviously, Palpatine knew about Exegol.
Yeah.
You're saying he doesn't have a map, a star chart anywhere in one of his vaults or hidden places? And we have to rely on whatever the fuck a Wayfinder does?
Yeah.
And how do you even find it?
I don't know. It's never really explained.
I'm imagining what they want us to think
That
is that
movie
Palpatine
moves.
sent him visions.
Probably, yeah. That movie moves way too quickly. I think in the begin, at least in the beginning, it's like bam, 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 and suddenly we have found him, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and then there were then like apparently Finn wanted to tell Rey that he's a Jedi.
Yeah,
Which first off, fuck you, you're not a Jedi. You're Force sensitive.
that's not how this works.
And what is it that Han told you in the very first fucking movie? That's not how the Force works.
Yeah, that's not how the Force works, and he's not even like a Force user.
I know. Like he thought it was hooky religion,
He did.
and he knows
As-
more
as
about
did
it
a
than
lot of
you.
people. Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Do we want to talk about all the movies that go through a list, or do we want to rank them?
Rank them.
Yeah, like our favorites to least
Yeah,
favorite.
let's do our favorite.
Oh fuck.
I think we'll disagree here, but my my favorite is episode 3.
I don't hate it. I was gonna say my favorite is Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Good one.
I like that final battle, and I like the redemption.
Yeah, I like episode 3 because it was interesting to me because I really liked the song that plays in the background as Obi and Anakin are fighting each other, which is "Duel of Fates" by William. Ooh, I'm gonna forget. John Williams.
John
sorry.
Williams.
Yeah. I love that piece, and I've played that piece before for a competition piece. So it's a hard piece to play, but it was very fun to play it. Yeah. So I think John Williams is a god as far as music goes. He's produced so many good pieces that I've played in so many blockbuster movies.
All right. What about second favorite?
Second favorite movie I have to say is gonna be episode 5.
Really, Empire.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say -3.
3 after that.
Yeah, I like 6 because Darth Vader dies and Anakin's reborn. And I gotta say, I like 3 mainly because of the Obi-Wan and Anakin battle.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was such a good cinematic piece.
and it's the death of Anakin and the birth of Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd say that would be my favorite. And
One
plus-
thing that's really gonna piss you off in the new movies that kind of upset me with the with them as well is the lightsaber combat. Is ridiculous.
You mean the lightsaber flailing?
It's not even flailing. There's just like they're just doing like one movement, like locking lightsabers and then flying off of it and hitting again.
Did
That's
you
it.
did
There's
you
no-
ever watch the behind the scenes videos of Hayden and Ewan
Yes.
training?
Yes, they actually learned fighting stuff.
Those were badass. Like I loved watching those, and like they went through it at slow paces, and they got to the point to where they were going super fast with it. I'm like,
It's
that's awesome.
It's amazing to watch, especially for a lot of reasons. It makes it feel like those weapons have a weight to them because they're moving them in a way that makes it seem like it's not made of light.
I've watched a video of a swordsman reacting,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like that's very good.
Yeah,
Like that's great.
amazing. The fight between the animated fight between Ahsoka and Darth Maul That was
That
also amazing.
that was
And it was
also different from how they did all the other fights because they used
100%.
motion capture to do it, and it was Ray Park who
Yep.
played the live action Darth Maul who did
Mhm.
all the motion capture for it.
Yes, they did motion capture, and it made the fighting feel more realistic. Everything had weight to it. Everything.
Yes.
It was slower paced for sure, as compared to the lightsaber battles that they had in the previous, all previous episodes.
how would you compare the battle between Ahsoka and what's her name in The Mandalorian?
That's those. I definitely like the animated one with Darth Maul better, just because to me that scenario was more impactful than her fighting this random chick with the Bespar sphere.
Yeah, what about Din Djarin versus Moff Gideon?
That was a good battle, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, that it was interesting to see exactly how well Beskar can do against lightsaber. Not and again, not just any lightsaber, but
The
the
saber,
dark
because the
saber.
dark saber is very different
Yeah,
from
yeah.
other lightsabers. Like even when Sabine in Rebels was learning to use it, she
Hmm.
said it was extremely heavy, but then as she bonded with it more, it got lighter.
Yeah, it's a different type of weapon for sure,
Yeah,
and it's an ancient weapon
and
too.
we've
So,
never seen that before. Like even Finn doesn't react when picking up Anakin's lightsaber.
because they're not technically, they don't weigh any more than the hilt, the handle themselves. They just don't weigh any more than that, which I can't imagine that weighs more than maybe a couple of pounds, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Because it's a crystal and some technology around it encased in metal. So I don't think it's that heavy. But it's nice to see combat where those weapons are used and look like they have some weight to them, which is really cool.
what's your third favorite Star Wars movie?
Third favorite for me is gonna be uh Return.
Return of the
Return
Jedi.
of the Jedi. Yeah, good movie.
Your reasonings for that one?
It's just it's everything kind of comes to a close. It's pretty good. It's very well written. Um, the twists that you get in that movie is pretty good, and seeing how far Luke has come as far as a character goes, like his character development is really amazing because he starts off as this young kid that doesn't really know a whole lot and is honestly kind of naive, to being this person who's mature, knows exactly what he's fighting for, and what he is fighting towards as well.
Yeah,
And it's nice to see it come to an end. Um,
and you see Luke like almost teetering over to the dark side in that.
yeah, it's very interesting to see him kind of. He could have made different decisions that would have changed outcomes for sure. It's also really interesting to me, to see the development in Darth Vader as well, as far as character development goes. Because if you're like me and you only watched the original three, right? Um, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
If you watched those ones first, like I did, it's crazy to think because Darth Vader is always portrayed as this evil, awful human being, just terrible person. And then at the end, you see him have some humility, and want to see his son. He has a famous line where he wants to look on him with his
yeah.
own
Let me
eyes.
look upon you with my own eyes, just this
Yeah,
once.
yeah, it's so awesome to see that character development.
And then he's like, "It's too late for me. Just leave me here. Save yourself." And
Yeah.
Luke's like, "I can't do that."
And now I watched the original episode 6, right? But if you watch it any version now, they show the Force Ghost, which I think is a nice touch.
Yeah.
To the series.
No, they show the Hayden Force Ghost.
Yeah, Hayden, not the Darth Vader actor that was originally
Yeah.
depicted.
Because I
Um,
had it on VHS. I still have it on VHS. So I've seen the original version.
Yeah, it's just this older dude, which is fine. It worked at the time, but it's more impactful to see him as Anakin Skywalker, and that has a bigger meaning to it,
Yeah.
in my mind, than the original. So I thought that was a nice touch when I watched it the second time, and they had added Hayden Christensen to it.
I think my third favorite is gonna throw you off a bit.
What's that?
The Clone Wars.
Okay. I like the Clone Wars too. It was really nice to see them land on Geonosis and save the day.
Yeah, it was no, not Attack of the Clones.
Oh.
I mean the animated movie, The Clone Wars.
Oh.
It was the very first time we saw Ahsoka. It
Yep.
was in the middle of the Clone Wars, so we were getting to see all the clones. We saw Rex and Cody. We see a fight between with Anakin and Ahsoka and Ventress and whatnot. We see Count Dooku show off and all this stuff. I thought I thought that even though it was a bit of a slow movie, it was very good.
Yeah, that one. You definitely threw me for a loop there. That's a good one for sure.
Oh, that's a bot. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I thought I really enjoyed the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And and we're talking all the movies here, so that counts. That was the first movie
Yeah.
for it. So
I'll tell you my least favorite. My least favorite was A New Hope.
We'll get to that. We still got a few more to go. Fourth favorite.
Fourth favorite has to be Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I like that one.
Really?
First introduction of the clones, and them just swooping in and kind of saving the day was really nice. And it's also, I think, the first time that we see over 10 Jedi fighting at once. So I thought that was really amazing.
That's where we see the purple lightsaber for the first time, too.
Yes. And without that, we probably wouldn't have had colored lightsabers.
Well, without Samuel L. Jackson, we wouldn't have had that.
Yeah, that's true. Without
he
Samuel
wanted
L.
the purple lightsaber.
He was like, I want a purple one. And they were like, it's not going to fit the story. And he's like, I'm not doing it unless I get a purple one.
Uh-huh.
And they gave him, which I love, because it added this whole new dynamic to lightsabers, which is really cool.
Okay. I was going to say my next favorite was Rogue One.
Rogue One's a good movie.
I thought it was great. I know a lot of people didn't like it.
I liked it. I thought it added to the story. I loved watching Darth Vader actually destroy fucking people at the end there.
Yeah, as you know, that is my favorite Star Wars scene.
Oh my god, who did it better? I think
Avengers or Star Wars.
Yeah,
like Star Wars.
Star Wars, for sure.
That showed what an absolute monster Vader is.
Yeah, it was good to see it for the first time. We don't really see, at least in the Star Wars universe, you don't really see a whole lot of people dying, right?
Yeah.
But it was nice to see Darth Vader just tearing through fucking rebels. It was
not even tearing through them. It was like a straight up massacre. It was horrifying.
Good. It was good.
Like he threw someone up on the ceiling and eviscerated them.
I wish we could see more violence in Star Wars like that.
Yeah, I see. I know what you're getting
at. It is supposed to be somewhat family friendly, for sure. But I would like to see a rated R Star Wars film. That would be...
Oh, God, that would be something.
That would be good. The comic books are pretty gruesome. So...
All right, fifth favorite.
Fifth favorite for me is probably going to be a Solo story.
Solo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked the Solo one more than I liked the other episodes that are remaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one threw me through a loop.
It's different.
Different?
I'll say that much.
Okay.
They changed some things, which I didn't really like, but they did it in a way that was tasteful, in a way that was good,
Okay.
and didn't subtract away from the story too much. The continuity, I should say. I don't know if have you ever seen that Solo?
Hang on, give me a second here. I gotta grab something.
Okay. He's grabbing something, guys. That one was interesting to me because we've always known that Solo won the Millennium Falcon gambling against. What's his name? I'm gonna forget his name.
Lando.
Lando, yeah. So.
Star Wars, the prequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Solo, a Star Wars story. Rogue One.
Of course.
The original trilogy.
All on
Force
Disney.
Awakens.
Yep. Oh, ooh. Okay.
The Last Jedi.
All right.
And then I have a digital version of Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
So.
Why do you have the disc if you've never watched it?
Why do I have the digital version?
Yeah.
I thought about watching it. I have it ready to go if I ever change my mind, but I just don't know.
Which, by the way, that's a good. I think out of all of them, out of all of the new three, right? 8, which is that one, I think is the best.
8, which is that one.
The one that you have there.
Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Johnson didn't even care about that movie. He even said so.
I thought it was good. It made me cry.
Okay, my 5th favorite, believe it or not, is 5.
Okay.
I found it a lot better than A New Hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought,
As far as,
and it had the greatest movie moment ever.
here's the thing. I believe. Well, okay. So my next favorite is going to be Episode 1.
Okay.
Let's start with that. Yeah. I liked it. As far as Episode 1 goes, I liked the concept of it. I liked the fact that Liam Neeson was
Qui-Gon.
in Star Wars. I thought that was amazing.
I'm going to say the same for me, actually.
Yeah, and then him to play such a big character. At the time, it wasn't that big, but it definitely got to be a huge character in the Star Wars universe. So that was good to see. So that's why I liked that movie. Where I didn't like it is the fact that Jar Jar Binks is in that fucking movie, and that is the worst fucking decision they ever could have made.
I did not like Anakin in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, that was my least favorite. Like him and Jar Jar.
Yeah. You didn't like Kid Anakin at all?
No.
No.
I found him to be extremely annoying.
He was. The way he talked too was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
There's a famous shot that they got by accident where the kid is standing there and his shadow is a silhouette of Vader.
Shadow is the silhouette of Vader, yeah.
Yeah, which is something that was completely unplanned and something that just by chance happened. So
is
that
it
was
really?
freaking awesome. Yeah, it was by accident that was a thing. They didn't even catch it. Fans caught it like years later.
I think I like the meme.
Sorry.
I like the meme, like where Qui-Gon says Anakin drop, and Obi-Wan's like, so he thinks the low ground will protect him. Like, good.
Dude, that high ground joke is hilarious because Luke has the high ground on Darth Vader.
Yeah, and then he says Obi-Wan has taught you well. I'm like, God damn.
It's, again, a moment that wasn't planned.
No, that, like, the realization came back after seeing him say, Anakin, I have the high ground. I'm like,
it
Fuck!
was great to see that.
I actually
And
had
then to realize
flashbacks to that moment.
Just hilarious. Obi has taught you well. It's just like up above, like way above him.
Yeah, like I don't know if they had decided how Darth Vader became Darth Vader yet.
Yeah,
But I
Yeah.
imagine just from that scene alone, that's how they planned it.
it was.
They went back and watched that scene. It's like, got it.
Got it. That's how.
That's how it's gonna happen.
Write this down. Write this down. No, it was pretty good. He was super far above Darth Vader in that fight scene because the actor can't really look up. He had to like lean back.
And then he brought him down to his level. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
doing that
yeah.
shit again.
I ain't jumping up there.
I remember what happened last time I did that.
That didn't go too well.
I only got one good arm left.
Yeah.
Or no, he didn't. He lost all of them.
Yeah, he lost all his limbs.
Yeah. We're getting down to the 7th one.
That would be the worst, right?
No, we still got a few more. You didn't even
What are
put
the-
where you put the Clone Wars.
I mean, we'll go there. I'll pick that as my next one.
Okay.
It was a good movie for sure because it really showed the badassery that the clones could have as far as combat goes.
And one of the clones beat the shit out of a droid.
Yeah, which I don't think ever happened again after that point. Maybe once.
Technically, it happened again afterwards, and that was in Revenge of the Sith.
but yeah.
There's a clone in the background on Utapu during the Grievous fight, just beating the shit out of some droid.
When you're out of options, I
Like,
don't know.
good job to those clones. What would be the 7th on my list? I'm looking at them because I'm having to think about this. You know what? I'm gonna say episode 4.
A New Hope.
Yeah, it's not it's the 7th on my list.
I think
I
here's
found
my
it
theory.
interesting.
Here's my theory on A New Hope and why I think I have the opinion that I don't really like it.
I think it's
My-
more of that I grew up on it, like the original
Well-
trilogy. That was like I grew up watching the original trilogy, and I knew New Hope.
My theory about it as to why I don't particularly like it that much is the fact that I was able to watch them one right after the other,
Yeah.
right? Because I had all of them available to me. I think I would have liked it a lot more and appreciated it a lot more if I was stuck with that first movie for like however long it took them to make episode 7
Okay,
or episode 6. Sorry.
let me see. When you were a kid, did you were you ever allowed to like lay down and watch a movie before you go to sleep?
Yeah.
That's what I had. Like one of the movies that I would pick was A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a really young kid, I was allowed to pick a movie to watch and lay down and then go to sleep, and it was always A New Hope. Like I'd watch them like day after another or on the weekend or something, and I just watch like the original trilogy. But I always started with A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's 7th on my list. I will admit it is a bad movie. Like now that I'm an adult and not a kid,
Yeah.
I'm like, God, this does not hold up.
I don't care for it that much.
I'm watching like the scenes where we're facing the pilots in the cockpits of the X-wings, and I'm like, God, what is all that shit back there?
I think I would appreciate it more if I had watched it as far as like the cinematic releases went. You know, if you were stuck with, I think it was 2 years between A New
Yeah.
Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. I think I'd have a greater appreciation for it if I had waited to watch the second movie, but I didn't. I watched that first one, then I watched the next one, then that one. You know, I flew through it, and it to me is a middle episode basically.
What's eighth on your list?
Eighth is got to be any of the new Star Wars movies.
Oh, which one? They're all
It doesn't
bad.
count.
Just pick
It
one.
doesn't count. I think the second one.
The eighth.
First, no,
The
seventh.
first one, seventh one.
Yeah, seventh.
Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Okay, I will admit that was a visually appealing Star Wars.
It was nice to see the graphical just step up from any other Star Wars movie.
I will say that whole movie was nothing but A New Hope.
Basically.
That's what
Just
it was.
rewritten.
It was a slightly changed up version of A New Hope.
Rewritten and with more Nazi subliminal messaging.
We watched that scene from Jay and Silent Bob A New Hope where he was explaining reboots, and he said like the villain in the black mask with the droid with plans so secret. You know, it's like New Hope. Nope.
Yep. Dang.
So
yeah.
I think for me I'm gonna have to say Solo.
Solo? Okay.
Yeah. I don't like Solo as a Star Wars movie.
Why not?
Watching all the other Star Wars movies and shows, it just doesn't appeal to me as a Star Wars movie. It appears to me as a very good sci-fi movie.
It is so different from any other Star Wars movie.
Don't get me wrong, I like the idea that we're not focusing on the Force in that movie.
They stayed in the Star Wars universe, but that's it.
That's about it, yeah.
Yeah. Which
So for me, like, that movie just wasn't Star Wars for me. That movie was a sci-fi movie. And it's great when you just consider it a sci-fi movie. Ninth.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Ninth, I guess I'd have to say Rise of Skywalker.
So the ninth one? Okay. And we
Most
already
of all.
have our opinions on that.
Yeah.
For
They
me, I'm gonna say 2.
Episode 2?
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones?
Yeah. The CGI in that movie, like, took me out of it.
Yeah.
I like watching the whole movie's CGI is so distracting to me.
Yep. And it's early CGI too.
Yeah, I'm like completely taken out of the experience of the movie. Watching it, like, I'm like, God, like, those droids are fucking horrible. Oh, what is wrong with that alien?
Episode 3 with the whole space fighting scene as the entrance, that was really well done.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Yeah, as far as CGI goes, that was a huge step up for them and for movies in general. That kind of set the stage as to what was expected.
So, like, 2 for me, I just didn't like it all that much. I just couldn't. 10th.
10th would have to be episode 8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I'm gonna say 7.
Okay.
Again, it's a visually appealing movie, but it's essentially just A New Hope.
Remastered.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and save me some trouble here. 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
So that was 10 is 7, 11 is 8, and 9 is 12th.
12th.
Yeah. So 2 more for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
All that's left is Rogue and 4.
Yeah, so then the order would be Rogue and 4.
Okay.
New Hope was just at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, so why is Rogue at the bottom?
Rogue is more towards the bottom because I felt like it was just most of it. I felt was just a stepping stone, an in between story.
Okay.
You know, it was shot cinematically very well. I felt it did indeed add to the Star Wars lore in a way that was correct. But yeah, it was just, to me, it was a stepping stone. I didn't quite like the whole weird thing with her having a kyber crystal as a necklace. I thought that was weird.
Okay, I will admit that, but at the same time, I can see that though.
Yeah, it's funny. It gave them away for the old blind man.
Yeah, it gave us
having-
a way for to introduce the wills.
That dude, badass, because he just was walking into battle.
who was that? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember.
I don't. Is it Donnie Yen?
I have no idea.
I have to know now because I do like him as an actor. He's great.
I do like him as an actor.
Yeah,
yes.
Chirrut Imwe was played by Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen. Yep.
He's a martial artist too, so that's how you know. Like
He
that
is.
was really him doing it.
It was a really good thing. I was sad to see how short-lived his character was, though.
Well, I mean,
Basically,
it makes sense. Like, if they all didn't die, then where the fuck were they during the original trilogy?
Yeah, they needed to kill them all,
Yeah.
literally.
So, for you, the list is 3, 5, 6, Solo 1, The Clone Wars 7, 9, 8, Rogue and 4. And for me, it is 6, 3, The Clone Wars, Rogue, 5, 1, 4, Solo 2, 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
Interesting. And we kind of talked about the movies a bit. Man,
Yeah.
as
Each
a
one we kind of broke down what we liked, what we didn't like.
Yeah. What about shows? What did if you had to rate the shows?
Mando
is the best.
No, I think Clone Wars is best, but that's only because I have a sweet spot with that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know?
The Clone Wars is such an amazing show. It was so well done.
It's good.
They
It's
definitely
good.
knew what they were doing when they were making it.
I think there was like 1 or 2 episodes that I didn't like.
I didn't like a lot of the episodes that came towards the end, as it felt like just a lot of filler.
Yeah, that's true. They were kind of like, well,
It
we know
felt
where
like
the
they were
point
just
is at.
throwing random episodes in. It's like, I don't really care for these. But they were still okay.
My next favorite show, of course, is going to be Mando.
I think, yeah, Mando, same for me.
Mando's just, oh my god.
Dave
good-
Filoni and Jon Favreau. Those two know what they're doing when making shows.
Amazing series. And I can't wait for more.
I find the Mandalorian far more closer to the Legends version of Mandalorians, so I really like that.
Then it would be Rebels after that for me.
I don't know how to feel about Rebels as a whole.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't watched all of it. Like, I've watched bits and pieces of every season, and I'm currently watching the series, and I'm on season 2. I like the idea of the Inquisitors.
Yes.
I thought that was neat, although they killed the Grand Inquisitor. Why the fuck are they having problems with all these lower ranked ones?
It's fair.
So, So I can't really give an opinion on Rebels. I do find it a bit more kid friendly.
I don't think there are any other shows, are there? Other than the 2005 Clone Wars, but like,
Yeah, the 2003 one. You're still watching that.
yeah,
That's next for me. Yeah.
yeah.
And of course, there are all the shows coming out.
Right. And I'm not gonna add a rating to any of them yet because I want to watch them. And I feel not really judge them.
Speaking of which, we can actually talk about some stuff. First off, the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep. That's gonna be a thing.
It's gonna take place in this new era,
Yes.
and that's what I like.
I think it's gonna take place immediately after he sits down on the throne.
I would love that.
Just like him sitting there, she's sitting next to him, and then they awkwardly look at the camera and say, "Now what?"
He's
No, I don't think that's how they'll start it. But
first off, Boba Fett. Tamura Morrison, I believe is his name, who plays him. Yeah, Tamura. First off, fantastic as Boba Fett. He was the live-action Jango.
mm-hmm.
To see him come back to play Boba Fett was just amazing. We saw him at the end of episode 1, or of season 2, anyway.
Yeah.
He made a brief appearance and then he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's reintroduced, he shows up to negotiate with Mando, to get his armor back.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the stormtroopers show up, and then he just beats the stormtroopers all to shit with a gaffy stick.
Doesn't even shoot any of them, I don't think.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't shoot anyone until he gets his armor back.
He just beats them senseless.
Yes, and it was very amazing to watch that whole fight scene. I still go back and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets the armor on.
Yep.
And then he just shoots the shit out of all the remaining stormtroopers.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That whole scene was amazing. I think that was probably my favorite episode, if I'm being honest.
Out of Mando?
Yeah.
My favorite episode was the last episode of the first season.
I did like that one too. Mainly because
being able to see the Darksaber. The ship
and Luke showing up.
I was like, "Ooh, what?"
We all are. We watched that one together, didn't we?
I don't think we watched the first one together.
No, the last episode.
Oh, last episode of the second season, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Oh, that was so good.
Holding back tears because I'm watching Luke just absolutely murder.
Both of us were.
Oh, jeez.
Then, what do you think the Book of Boba Fett's going to be about?
His rise to power.
Yeah, do you think he's going to try to become like an overlord or whatnot, or do you think he's going to try to get his spot back as the #1 bounty hunter?
I think he's going to be an overlord. I think he's going to create a bounty hunter hub and try to fix up the idea of bounty hunters. Because at that time, like, we saw who was sitting in the throne. That's not who should be sitting there at all.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, and so, like, I can't imagine Tatooine is doing any well at that point, and so I think Boba will at least bring it back to how it was in the past, where it was kind of like the central hub for bounty hunters and sleazebags of the galaxy, whereas we see Tatooine during that time, and it's empty and just desolate, and there's not a lot going on.
Do you think he's going to try to raise an army?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know why he'd want to.
Maybe he wants to be Mandalore.
I don't think he has an interest in that.
He didn't, even in the Legends he doesn't, but he still rose to become Mandalore.
Yeah.
But, I'm thinking about that scene now, where they go to recruit, Bo-Katan,
Mm-hmm.
and when Boba says something,
Yeah.
the chick with Bo-Katan is like, I didn't know sidekicks talk. And I'm like, aren't you a fucking sidekick? We don't even know your name.
That was funny. Also, where'd the dude go?
Yeah.
Also, why was there a guy? Because it was an all-female fighting force that she was with.
Oh, no. She took over Mandalore as a whole. Remember?
Yeah.
She originally, with Death Watch, she led an all-female Mandalorian group called the Valkyries.
But where did that guy go?
I
What
imagine
happened
he's
to him?
dead.
He was there for one episode.
Yeah. And then he fucked off somewhere else.
Then he was gone. I don't understand it.
So
Why even include?
that was a whole
Because you
thing.
wanted 3.
So, and I don't like that Boba Fett kind of got beat just a little bit. But I imagine, like, if they didn't stop that fight, Boba was about to kill both of them. That's my
Yeah, I
own
don't
head
think-
canon.
I don't think Boba had the intention to kill anybody.
Oh, I think he was
Yeah,
getting
man.
there.
I think if he had the intention of killing people, he would have just fucking killed her.
I know, but I think he was getting there. It's like, all right, I'm getting pissed.
Yeah.
Someone's about to die. Oh, God, that would have been amazing to see, though.
Moff Gideon right now is in capture, right? He's a prisoner.
I don't know. Technically, he's captured by Mando and his group.
Yeah. So I wonder what they're gonna do with him.
Hopefully, they're gonna kill his ass.
I don't know if he's gonna escape.
No, they need to kill him. Well, no, Cara Dune's there.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. She gets to arrest him. Fuck that. They need to kill him.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
He's gonna come back and it's gonna bite everyone in the ass.
Yep. Also, I want to see Bill Burr again.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that one up. 'Cause Bill Burr's like episode in season 2. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That was such a great episode, and he showed such acting range.
It was great to
When,
watch.
when they were talking about Operation Cinder,
Yeah.
you could see like emotions just going through his face and his eyes. I'm like, holy shit.
It's kind of so. I listened to Bill Burr's podcast, and he talked about that scene a little bit, right? And he was talking about his motivation. His motivation for that scene was kicking a puppy. That's what he was thinking about. And I just love it. He was like, that would make me so angry if I had to do that, and it would make me cry to think to be able to do that. So that was his motivation. So
It worked.
That whole time. Now, anytime I see that scene, I just think of him. You know, I just put myself in his head, and he's like, "I'm gonna kick the shit out of that puppy."
Yeah, man. I mean, it worked.
It was funny.
Because I believed it. Like,
Yeah.
seeing that scene, I believed he was genuinely upset.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good performance.
And then, as you know, Mando Season 3 currently has nothing about it.
Mhm.
We're assuming they're going to announce it sometime, and probably in the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we're gonna get it next year?
I hope so, but it won't be till December of next year.
Probably. Still.
That's the sad part, right? They like to release these around Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas or May.
Yeah.
Still, I think we talked a lot about the shows and ranking them and ranking the movies and talking about scenes that we enjoyed and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been on for about an hour and 39 minutes.
Yep.
I think we can pretty much call this.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Gained a follower today. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, and hopefully a subscriber, and maybe even on Discord. I haven't checked yet.
Yep.
So hopefully that will go good. And
All the way in the UK.
yeah,
Right dimension.
I'm hoping that this will be something we can continue doing occasionally if we can do this alongside the Out of Spite podcast. That'd be nice.
Yep.
But I think we can call it here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This has been the Untitled Star Wars podcast, episode 1. We're gonna be rating someone that I watch as well. So if anyone's still here, you can check that out.
Someone is rating. Jim Bob is rating with. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, this is it for now.
Okay. See you guys.
See ya.
Cool.
Alright, it says we're rating them.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, I
Alright.
think this went pretty well.
I think it did
Jim,
too.
Thank you so much for
It's
that
kind of
raid.
cool. Got someone talking
rip.
to us.
Yeah.
Oh, big rip.
Oh
Big
shit.
pepperoni.
Think
There has to be some kind of mechanic
see you
between
Saturday,
if it's
hopefully.
Other come to help. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just.
Alright, man,
completely
till next
random.
time.
If I
We're
don't
both
got
just, like,
anything
aggressive
going on Saturday, I'm
24/7.
doing physical therapy nowadays. I don't know what my schedule's
Like, I
like.
don't even think there's
Okay,
a
well,
strategy between
we'll
them. It's
hopefully
just
figure it
nuts.
out then.
They're like
Yeah.
the robot from
Alright,
like, the
man,
first
till next
Terminator
time.
movie with